All right, folks, if you want to start to get into making some bread, you could find super simple recipes. If you go to claude.ai.com and then search, how do I make a simple, you could say focaccia bread recipe, you could say, banana bread, you could say, right, you just say, I want to make a simple bread recipe, and then you could start to say what you have or don't have, and that makes it easier to start in the beginning. There's also a book I've been referencing. It's called The Perfect Loaf by Mauricio Leo. You could also search for a book. It's called Flour, Water, Salt, and Yeast, or something like that. That's by Ken Forkish. Okay, so a thing that makes this process valuable, or at least more effortless, is a food scale, right? So I got my mason jar, and so I'm just trying to walk you through the process just so you see kind of what I'm thinking about, what I'm going through. So I tare this. Right, so we're at 0, and now I'm putting 75. My recipe calls for, to maintain the starter, you're putting 75 grams of flour. This is unbleached bread flour by King Arthur. And then we're going to match that with 75 grams of lukewarm tap water. In some recipes, when you start getting into more higher quality recipes, they kind of ask for spring water if you really want to go super detailed. But since I'm just at the beginning of the process, I'm using just the cheapest tap water, and I'm using cold tap water. My buddy said that hot water pipes are gross, so that's just something, a little nuance that might help you get it going. And I think hot water pipes, they got chlorine and some contaminants that might harm it. Okay, so I have my 75 grams of flour, and let's see, this should go back to 0. Okay, perfect. So both mason jars weigh the same, and this is 75 grams of cold tap water that's been warmed up, right? Because I think the heat from the tap water can help activate this, starters, right? There's reactions going on in your starter. So what we're basically doing is feeding it. It's like a once a day feeding, sometimes twice a day, and so we throw these both in there, and then I've shaved some lemon zest. This is a way that we're kind of aiming for we're rotating between putting sweet potato in here, some cacao powder, and then some lemon zest. So that's my current rotation, and that's what we're thinking about. Because in my mind, it'd be nice to have a nice colored, differently colored sourdough bread with some hints of lemon zest, some hints of cacao powder, and so hopefully we're just gonna test it out and have some fun. So hopefully some of these ideas help. And I'm putting this after I mix this stuff all together, throwing it right in here, and this is gonna go above the stove, right? You want to put it in a warmer place in the house, and so I above the stove is ideal, and then have it covered with some cheesecloth or something like that. So hopefully some of these ideas help, and reach out with any